Is faith quit? This game is in a pre-release stage of development.
Yes, you heard it right. Age of Mythology Remastered, or Retold as they're calling it, has finally come out in its closed beta. It is available just for this weekend, so it actually might be finished by the time you're watching this. However, I got my hands on it by buying into the premium, and I know I hate doing that pre-ordering stuff, but I just had to get my hands on it early, and it did not disappoint. I played the full 2 hours. You get 5 missions to start with, and my god, it is just as memorable and just as good as it always has been, but with some extra tweaks and extra additions. So I'm going to be talking through that. So let's dive straight into Age of Mythology Retold. We are back with our Kantos, our fantastical man who takes us along some of the greatest adventures as an Atlantean. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Given the chance that we have 5 campaign missions and about 2 hours of content that I've played, other than the skirmish stuff you can do, jumping straight into the story, this is where it starts to shine straight away. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. Those cutscenes that really dynamically form into the gameplay themselves have come back, and they look better than ever. I think it is so obvious the amount of love and attention to detail that's been put into everything from the waterwork, the shadows, the animations, even the voice acting. Not to mention the soundtracks had such a great overhaul, and my god, the Kraken is one of the most beautiful assets that I've ever seen. One thing I did notice straight away is Age of Mythology Retold, for some reason, still sticks with the very old RTS mechanics of using the arrow keys to move around. Incredibly frustrating having to change that. Don't know why that's a default. Also, the sensitivity is off the rails. It seems like it's very much catered towards playing for a system that, well, just isn't mine. There is controller support, which we know that the game is going to be coming to consoles as well. And I actually think playing it with controller is something that it's kind of catered towards at this point in time. That might just be my little conspiracy tin hat theory, but it took me a while to get some of the settings up. But once I had, I could get jumping into the campaign and following the story. The story starts as you'd expect. You're playing as Arkantos, a mythical hero who is an Atlantean, and there are pirates attacking along with their dastardly Kraken. He is a hero character. Characters that you'll see pop up throughout the whole of the campaign and your story. They have their own personalities and names, but of course, they have practical uses within the game itself. They are great at taking out mythical units, and Arkantos is who we start with here. You send him to attack the Kraken, he deals with it pretty quickly. Yet, in time, the pirates start piling up. They're attacking our shores, whether it's our docks or landing people on there with their transport ships. Now we have our AI getting the resources already for us. That's taken care of. So starting to train our men. And this is where we start to see some of the infantry within the game. You have your swordsmen and your hoplites. They can be upgrading much like most Age of Empires games or even the Age of Mythology game that came before. Once again, with beautifully redesigned assets, all in crispy 4K. Aha, we've got some reinforcements coming in. That's what I wanted. Fight it! Arkantos, fight! Okay, he's fighting it now. I did notice throughout playing Age of Mythology Retold in its closed beta form that there were some issues with pathfinding. I mean, this one with the Kraken, he just wouldn't attack it. Later on, trying to get Hydras to attack a wall, they for some reason wanted to walk all the way around the map in order to get behind. I was very, very confused what was going on there as well. So you're attacking it, fine. What? Okay, look at him, he turns around, but as soon as I... Stop! I've asked you to do something here, man. So yeah, it is not perfect. I'm assuming part of that's down to it being a closed beta. This is not even close to being the finished thing. I think that's coming in September. So pathfinding is still having its issues, but we know that. Age of Empires 4 was a much better game and it was a true sequel, but even that's had its pathfinding issues. It just seems like the Age of Empires games just lean themselves to being dodgy in some ways. I guess we can call it charming though. Nostalgic at the least. As the final wave of pirates come in, we get a chance to use our first god power, or at least the first one I used, and this is Lightning Storm. Now, anybody that doesn't know, as you go up through the levels within Age of Mythology, you get a chance to pick a side, whether it's picking between Ares and Hermes, Dionysus and Aphrodite. At least there's some of the choices I got. With it, you get new buffs, new improvements to your armies and how well they fight in certain situations. You get mythical units that you can choose. Maybe you want a Cyclops or a Minotaur or a Colossus even. And you get god powers. In the first Age of Mythology, these were like one-time god power things. Now you can use them multiple times, which I think is really cool. They have cooldown and they use favor. At least for the Atlanteans, favor is something that you use by getting your lads to pray at a temple. You get the little lightning bolts. They can use that as a currency in order to call in god powers and create mythical units. And the lightning bolt is pretty goddamn cool. It helps me win the final stages of this battle. And some centaurs. Now we can actually use you to bish bash bosh, put in a lightning storm. Yes, we've lightning stormed one of the boats. Where's our hero? Okay, he's getting smothered, so let's get you guys over. You're gonna go and deal. Okay, I was gonna get him to deal with the Kraken, but that Kraken has actually been lightning striked. Thank you so much. I'm assuming this is Zeus's lightning. Pirates might have been defeated, but they stole Poseidon's trident. And because we're very sad, our Kantos and our crew, we've got to go off and find it. And this takes us on to the first stage where we can actually start doing some of the building. Setting down town center, having villagers that you have to recruit. We can put down our god power of the lure. This basically brings in animals to us, so we don't actually have to do anything ourselves. They come towards us. Look at them. Oh my god, you can zoom so far and see all the detail. By the way, this music, I know I've said it 50 million times, but it's great. But even look at like the muscle definition on these guys. That's actually fantastic. The chickens as well, the deer, they look a lot like the Age of Empires 2 deer, which is kind of, you can understand that why. Here's Piggy. Piggy, you're coming this way because you're about to be slaughtered. And it means that we can start recruiting more troops. Getting infantry, getting mythical units. I think the guys we have at Cyclopses, they're pretty cool within this. And they're pretty powerful units. Sometimes we get attacked by various amounts of guys coming forward, and a little bit of a showcase of one of the cool new features within the game. Can actually get a new hero. I'd like that. Heroes are good for taking out myth units, so that's going to be ideal right now. What's this button? I've never seen. This is the priority. Okay, so this is completely new, so you can have presets and custom things for changing what your villagers do, what they work on. So if we put it on 2, I'm assuming this means they're going to prioritize different things. Okay, food, less food, more gold, and more wood. I think that's probably what's going to happen. So yeah, now they're all, guess, yeah, they're going to get food. They're going to go and get wood. So they're all doing the things for me. So I can actually sit back and let the villagers do their own thing. Now you can still micromanage and be like, nah, I don't want you to do that. But that's what these priorities do. So obviously when we get to these ages, then they're going to really be focusing on getting gold, less food, and less wood. But you can set it to naval, economic. Let's say we want to build a bigger military. We're going to need more food and more gold. Or you can set your own custom ones and change how much they prioritize. But we're gonna let it do its thing, because that's kind of what the new mythology is actually working on right now. So we'll see how it works properly. I'm not going to ignore some of the new features, even though I probably don't think I'll use them too much on my own. As we move through the mission, we basically have to take out a camp. It's quite straightforward, and once you've got a decent amount of army of mythical units, heroes that can be recruited from the town center, one time only, but you know, if they die, you can recruit them back, and some other troops, we can bulldoze them through pretty fast. Now, this takes me on to some of the first bits of destruction. Destruction is gorgeous within this game, and I think this is one of the main improvements that the definitive editions that Age of Empires has done and this Retold edition has done. When people are knocking down these buildings, or when ships are getting destroyed, they have a very dynamic degradation. Pieces start to fall off very, very slowly. The more they get injured, the more bits come off, and they crumble into pieces when they're finally destroyed. The mangonels also have like a little animation when they fall to pieces as well. Ships, they start burning, their sails, their mast starts to fall apart. I love it. I think it's one of the most gorgeous parts, and this is down to how they've completely revamped this engine to work, because as far as I'm aware, this is on the same engine of Age of Mythology, but they've somehow managed to make it so much more advanced, not just graphically, not just lighting wise, but with animations and all the mechanics within the game itself.
For another time, Arcantos!
We've got him cornered. What's he gonna do? There's no way, like other pirates getting chased away with my triremes in the back as well. There's no way you can escape. What are you gonna do about it? Uh-oh. He's running. He's jumping. Where's he gone? He's on a fish.
Stage 3 makes us build up some of our navy. We've got to take out some of their ports, and to do so I build some sea ships, which are actually pretty effective against, well, their triremes. And it's so satisfying seeing those ships crumble to pieces, as I mentioned before. This is quite a short mission. It's just about taking out these 2 ports so you can land extra men. But from this point onwards, up to the Siege of Troy, it's all kind of one flowing mission, much like, well, it is a recreation of the first Age of Mythology if you've ever played that. We get some more troops, and now it's time to start to look into some extra mythical units.
Oh, that was so sad. The Trojans killed my men on my donkey horse thing. Everything seems to be going pretty okay at this point in time. I think everyone's sort of doing their job. I think it's going to take a while to get to the point that we need to train the army to destroy them, because we've got a lot of fighting to do. So hopefully we can get some reinforcements at some point. But let's start anyway by building these barracks.
Stage 4 brings us to the shores at Troy, building up our army with centaur riders, even hydras. Hydras being one of my favorite lads ever, because the more kills they get, the more heads they start to grow, then the more damage they can do. You can also get the sea version of them, which are pretty powerful at taking out enemy ships.
Oh, they've got so many heads as well. Look at that.
Not only this, but they can get an upgrade where they start to regain their health. So if you control them well on the battlefield, they can be so powerful.
Oh, they are so good against ships. They just eat them to pieces. Yum, yum, yum. No. And now we've got 2 heads on each of them. Brilliant. I'm not worried about these guys because they can regenerate health, so they're going to be absolutely fine for a while. This Pegasus is still flying around, the non-textured Pegasus. Deal with that. 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 Can you attack that from here? Oh, you can. Yeah, look at you go. I think they can have up to 5 heads. Oh, look how awesome they look. Oh, God, I didn't mean to do that. I still did not mean to do that. Right. Sort that out. Sort yourself out, lads.
Pushing forward after defending many oncoming attacks, it's time to break through the main gates of Troy, sending all of my army, using my bronze god power, which gives me extra HP for my guys, and, well, pretty much anything that I can throw at them, whilst building more and more troops as we go.
Break through the main gates. Ignore the temple, lads. Don't care about the temple right now. What are you doing down here, men? Bring down the gates. How are the gates looking? Gates looking fine. They have a lot of things here, though. I can't get the gates down. It means I can't get through. And the gates are down. Yes. Troy has been defeated. That's all we needed. And now we're on to the final mission. What's going on now? Oh, so we've done all that fighting and now we're... Okay.
Meeting our new hero Ajax, we need to save him and clear out some of those enemies. And this is the final battle. Okay, the final one in this closed beta. This campaign goes on for about 13 hours, by the way.
Oh, look how many... Oh, look at the cute pigs. Look at the cute pigs.
One of my favorite things about this mission is getting to see the Colossus. Now, this is down one of the routes, the god routes that I haven't got up to yet. And I'm able to get my own Colossus, they're able to get their Colossus. And finally, this battle, oh, it is so satisfying. I think it showcases Retold in a way that is perfect for this closed beta.
Look, I know you guys can eat trees. Look at this. He's going to eat his tree. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. Mmm, healthy trees. Okay. I thought I'd lost some guys, though, but I've lost some Hydras. This Hydra is, like, on death's door, though. So we're going to get him out of there. You're going to chill there. I know my hero's fallen. Oh, we still can't do you, but what we can do is... do you. Good. Dealt with. Our biggest threats are Mangonel and more Colossus. More Colossus. Can we get another heal in? Doesn't want me to. I mean, it says I should be able to, but it doesn't want me to. I'm worried about my Hydra. He might go down, but I think I've done enough here. We just need to take out these lads, and then we should be good. Wow, the Colossus doesn't take too much damage. Oh, you just eat away, lad. You eat away. You eat away. I trust you can eat away. Come back in. Oh, we got a nice little army of Myrmidons. Come on, Achilles and his men. We need you in here now. That should be the end of it. It should be taking this out, and that should be done as far as I'm aware. Ajax, kill that villager. That's what you're good for. Brilliant. Perfect. Is that it? There we have it. And that, as far as I'm aware, is the end of what we can play for the campaign.
All in all, I think Age of Mythology Retold is looking really strong. Once again, it does have a few issues with pathfinding, and textures like to pop in and out quite a lot. I'm really sorry about the beta thing that's been pinging around on the screen. It's like the DVD menu. It's very, very annoying. However, it does showcase the amount of effort and work that's been put into this, and it is beyond anything that I've at least hoped for. Age of Mythology is one of my favorite games of all time, and remastering it, well, that was something that I thought was absolutely perfect. Not only that, but bringing in plenty of extra things like, well, the god powers that you can use again. It's got brand new ages like the Wonder Age. There's also a new tutorial that's been added in with the Retold edition, and that's not to mention all the bits that are going to be coming out later. I'm going to be uploading the full 2 hours unedited on my second channel, so click over to go and view that if you haven't already. But to see all the new gods, everything that goes with that, make sure you stick around this channel for my next video.